All right. For those of you who are here on time, thank you. Okay, going to go over a couple of things. Obviously, I put something in front of you all to look at and sign. If you have not received a handbook, the recent one, Tina is going to email everyone today. So you will get one email. We're not going to print them all out and waste the paper because they end up getting left everywhere.
Yeah.
That way you have an electronic copy of it. So if you have a different email than what you have originally, please let us know, but she's going to email them to you today. So if you don't receive one by today, just let me know. Give me your email and we'll send one to you to make sure you have, because we have an electronic copy. I'm bringing up once again the Yelp, and those of you who have either checks to give me for HIS or applications, I still need those. It's down to the wire now where I've already kind of talked to everyone here what's going to happen if they don't turn it in. And the Yelp, once again, still, mine's the last one on there, not even one from anybody anywhere. I just find it hard to believe that we can't put a little bit of effort in and get a Yelp review, guys. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I was supposed to have 2 on there over the weekend.
Yeah, nothing there.
I'll follow up with my buddies.
So invoices and what I want to start doing for invoices is going to change from what you guys used to do them. I want every invoice for every job turned in when you turn in your payroll by Monday of the following week. So any jobs you do this week, any invoices you buy, have purchase orders on them, and then they need to be put with your paperwork, paper clipped, whatever, to your paperwork, so that I can see that they were put in. Because what's happening is, already, is we're getting invoices. I'm not getting those turned in by everybody. A few of you do turn them in, but I'm not getting them turned in, and then I'm like, well, where's the purchase order? There's no purchase order in. Kevin's done it as well, and he says, oh, there's invoices on my desk that need to be put in a system. So I need you to turn in, going forward, every week, all of your invoices with your purchase order on them, with your payroll timesheets. So I kind of want them attached to the jobs, basically. Whatever jobs you do, if you buy parts, it comes in with payroll. Rather than turning all the invoices into Karina and the girls, turn them in with your payroll. That way I make sure they're inputted, I make sure they have a purchase order, I can make sure everything is done right. Because what happens is, if you don't turn your invoice in, and you forgot to put the purchase order in the system, I end up paying people on what's in the system. So I have no way of double checking until later, and then I'm going to deduct from your pay on another job for the next week. And I just don't want to have to keep going back and forth like that. So I'd rather keep all your your invoices together, which are purchase orders obviously, and put them with your paperwork as you turn them in. So if you have a job on Monday and you went and bought something on Monday from whatever purveyor, Ferguson, turn that invoice in with that sheet. And then Tuesday you have a couple of jobs, you went and bought some parts, turn those in with that sheet. Sarah normally turns all of hers in, but she does miss some getting put in the system. You have to put your purchase orders in the system, because that way I know who it belongs to. That's the other thing. Sometimes you turn in an invoice and it's not behind anything particular. It's just put a whole bunch of invoices in the back, and if you don't have it in the system, I've got to try to figure out where it goes. So if you guys haven't noticed already, the job number is typically the purchase number, right? So if it's 1537 whatever, then it's just -001 for the first one, 002, 003. So if you know the job number, you can basically know what your purchase order number is going to be when you go right up to the counter. But it has to be input. You have to put it in or have us put it in. You guys are able to put it in. It's pretty easy on the iPad. You just click on invoice, and then it allows you to put a purchase order in. And the purchase order number is automatically going to be whatever in that particular order, from 001 all the way up to whatever number you're going to have. But I want those turned in with your timesheets every single week, please. And just put it behind the job that it belongs to. Okay? Something else I wanted to kind of mention that I really like how Sarah does her timesheets because it'll help me. For an example, what Sarah does is exactly what I asked her, and everybody else kind of has little variations of that. This is what I asked to have happen. If you have a job on Monday, you start a job on Monday, but you didn't collect on Monday because you have more work to do. She doesn't put a dollar amount on Monday for that job. She puts a 0. She doesn't put any cost on that job, but she shows me the hours that she worked on that job on Monday. I worked 2 hours. That was basically getting the job set up, building a relationship, and now she basically did an estimate or whatever, sold it, and now the work's going to be done on Wednesday, for an example. So Wednesday, she does the job, completes the job. That's now on Wednesday, how many hours she worked, but now it has the dollar amount that the job was, the costs, and all of that are on there. So now, I know she worked 2 hours on Monday, and then she worked however many hours on Wednesday to do the job and finish the job. So there's one for each. It still says the same job number on it, job number whatever, but basically from there, Wednesday says the same job number, but that's the one that has the price on it, how much we charge the customer and all the costs. That's the correct way to do it. Because now, I've seen some people, what they do on their timesheet is they put, I worked on the same timesheet on Monday, they'll put I worked 2 hours on Monday, and then I worked 3 hours on Wednesday on the same sheet. That's not how it's supposed to go. Because I'm trying to, when I put in all the information to figure out your pay, I figure out overtime as well. So if you have your timesheet on Monday and it says I worked 2 hours in this job, I didn't collect anything, so there's no money up here. It just says 0. But it says 2 hours here, and then the next Monday job says 3 hours. Then the next Monday job says however many hours, and so on. I add all those hours across so I know how many hours you worked in a day. Because if it gets over 8 hours, there's overtime. And then same thing for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then for the end of the week, if you worked over 40 hours, there's overtime as well. So if you do one sheet per job per day, and you don't have a dollar because it was an estimate, or you just kind of started the job but you didn't finish it, then no dollar amount goes up there. Just the hours goes down here, the job number, the customer's name, and all that still goes up there. That way, I know you were there, you worked some hours for the day, but you didn't collect anything. Once you collect something, then it has the dollar amount and the costs and all of that on your timesheet. That's how it's supposed to be. Okay? So yeah, you may have an extra timesheet, but it lets me know what day you worked, how many hours you worked for each and every job. Okay? So if you missed part of this because you're late, you can look at the video to make sure you catch up and understand. So that's important because I also talked about some other things you guys missed regarding your purchase orders and invoices. Okay, water heater warranties, once again, I'm going to reiterate this and make sure everyone understands. You can't just give a 10-year or 12-year warranty on a water heater without actually purchasing that extended warranty from the manufacturer, from Ferguson or whomever. And they give you a sticker, and that goes on the water heater. Basically, I think they give you an extra anode rod too, don't they? Or they give you a dipstick, a dip too?
No.
No? It just basically covers the cost if they have to warranty it, right?
Right.
Okay. So, so basically, we need to make sure that that's on the invoice and you're charged for that because we're charging the customer for that. And you can't, we're not going to go back and, just give a warranty without paying for it, and then we're basically stuck as a company not charging for it, but yet charging the customer for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because that's happening where someone's saying, hey, I'm going to give you a 12-year warranty on it, and the price may be higher, so that means the tech's getting paid more money, but their costs are as if it was a regular water heater because they're not actually getting the sticker and buying the actual warranty through the manufacturer or through Ferguson or Purveyor. And that has to be included in your purchase order. Okay, so overtime. I've mentioned this a couple of times. I'm going to mention it again. I don't want to have to mention it again because this is what's going to happen. If you have overtime more than an hour, I'm going to let you go. I mean, that's an hour per day. If that happens occasionally because you're in the middle of something, you got to finish it up, I'm okay with that. If you're going to get anything more than an hour, you need to get management approval. That's just basically Kevin and I. If Kevin and I agree to it, then on your timesheet, I want you to put on there when you're writing your overtime, okay per Kevin, okay per Alan, because I can always ask Kevin, he can ask me, And the reason is I'm seeing some jobs, 5, 6 hours overtime and no explanation. Because now you're getting paid your overtime, which is at a complete, your $22.50 an hour, in addition to whatever you're making on your service volume. We're taking it in the shorts. Does that make sense? Because it's just costing us the overtime, and we already paid you. We're paying you the regular commission on the job. There are going to be situations where they don't have water, they don't have, they don't have a toilet, whatever. We're going to have some overtime. But I would rather make money on the job, and we'll come back tomorrow and finish up if it's possible. In most cases, it depends. There's different situations, but I want to be able to make that decision and say, okay, how's that going to affect the company as well? Because it's going to affect us in a negative way, and we're not going to make money on the job. Then, unless I'm doing it for the customer and that kind of overrides everything, then we'll go from there. But you have to get approval, not just work overtime, willy-nilly, whatever you feel like working. Okay? Because what will happen is, if I see that and it hasn't been approved, I'm going to pay it because I have to by law, but I'm also going to bring you in my office and we're going to have a written conversation. And then from there will be the next step. We're going to go through that process. I'm still seeing tasks in your on your jobs that are saying things like this: custom drain repair, but it doesn't say what it is. In the summary, sometimes I'm seeing kind of a description of the overall work, but when you type in custom drain repair as a task and you're putting in a dollar amount and that's all it says, I don't know what that is for specifically. So you need to go in and what that custom drain repair is, write what it is. I'm repairing this $400 is for this repair, specifically what you're doing. Okay, because it'll protect us down the road. I've had a customer call me, this is what happened. Customer called me and was complaining about an invoice that it was last year actually, is where I got the first one. And she's saying, well, I'm looking at my invoice from last year and I think I got ripped off. It's a year ago. Okay, and I'm like, okay, so I went in the invoice and I looked it up and I'm talking to her and she says, what does this mean? Custom drain repair, what drain did they repair? Well, it was actually for a jetting, is what the custom drain repair was put in there for part of a jetting job. Well, that just seems ridiculous, she's just going off on me. And so then, then after that was about probably, a week ago or so, I'm going into jobs and looking at the jobs and I'm still seeing custom drain repairs. So I just want to make sure, if you have it in there, I know it's an easy way to get something in there, but put the specifics of whatever anytime you have a miscellaneous or custom type of job, task, make sure you write down what that task is. So we all know what it is, we know what we're warranting, because that's the hard part. The reason she was complaining is because we had to come back for something else now, a year later, and she says, well, they did, I don't know what's under warranty because I don't know what this means. What does a custom drain repair mean? So we've got to change that. Green Sky. I wanted to talk about Green Sky, and I've talked about it a while ago, that it's been a while, because we don't use it that often. So Green Sky, for financing, can get quite expensive. There's only certain, I want to say certain programs that we should be trying to use that cost us less money, because Green Sky is very expensive to us as a company. And just like if we give a discount on a job, Green Sky is going to affect each and every one of you guys that sell Green Sky. So just like we have a miscellaneous cost or you have financing, like in your bid calculator, they tell you what it's going to cost you, what our fee is going to be. If it's $300, depending on the size of the job, right? You have to put that in when you're doing your bid calculator if you know they're going to be using financing like that. So that's one of the things that you need to take into consideration. If you know that they're going to need financing, it's a big job, you should be putting whatever that fee is going to be in there. Because you can't do it after the fact is the problem. So when you're giving a bid to a customer, it's easier to give a discount and take that out if they pay cash or credit. Because credit we're paying, 2.5%, whatever it is. But in here, when it comes to Green Sky, we can Green Sky, we could pay up to 15%. It's a huge amount
Yeah,
in some
the
cases.
Two programs that I've been using were the 9% reduced APR and the 12-month same as cash with lump sum or payments.
Right.
And those I think are like a 2.5 and a 4.5.
If it's
Yeah,
under,
I don't go over 4.5.
if it's
Yeah.
under,
Typically.
yeah, if it's under 3%, it's fine. I'm
Okay.
okay with anything that way, but when it starts getting more than 3% and we're paying almost double what we normally pay,
Okay.
that's when it's gonna affect you guys too. So I just want you to know that, because it will be part of, come out of your service volume.
Right.
In regards to that as well, on top of that, whatever they're charging, we still have to pay credit card fees.
Right,
So
Okay.
2-3% of that too.
So it's really 6.5, 7%
Exactly.
on the 4.5%.
right.
Okay.
It can be up to
All right.
15% on some of those programs. That's what I'm saying. It's
Well, yeah.
expensive.
That's why, so basically that comes out of the total, right?
Yeah.
So whatever, let's say
Off the
it's
top.
$10,000 job, we're gonna take 6% of that, add it back in, because that's what we're losing.
Right.
Okay.
That's what we're paying. So it's just like giving a discount to a customer, just, you have to know that that's gonna happen. If they're gonna do that, in particular on large jobs, because that's normally when they're gonna finance, right? Anything over $1,000 minimum, they potentially could finance. And that's what we wanna be watching for, and saying, okay, so this is our price, because we're gonna include the financing in our bid. And then if they end up, and we can always say, if you're gonna pay with cash or check, then we can take that 5% off or 10, whatever it is. We can do that easily. But just keep that in mind on those larger jobs when you're bidding them, because I don't want you guys to be surprised when, you say, well, my service volume's $300 less than it was, what I think it should be. Well, look at your Green Sky, because you guys are dealing with Green Sky with the company, and you're calling them, you know what the fee's gonna be. They'll tell you. All right, so I just don't want to see surprises coming when that happens. All right, so like I said, the other thing here is on the handbook acknowledgement for those of you who came in a little bit late. These will be emailed to you by Tina today, and so I'm just getting an acknowledgement from everybody that you guys know you get. If you don't get it today, then just let us know and we'll email it. I'll make sure we get it emailed if you have a different email or whatever the case is from what we have on file. Okay. Kevin, you have anything? Marketing, I gotta talk to Kevin this morning, hopefully with that, but it's basically, we're about 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks out now from the website being done. And so they're basically kind of waiting on me right now, because I need to talk to Kevin about it, but for the whole marketing plan for that thing to start, which will pretty much just kind of happen towards the end of March, beginning of April. So that's something just to kind of keep you guys in the loop on, okay? I think that's all I have. That's it. So, anybody have any questions or comments, concerns? Please, if you guys came in late, there's things about invoices and stuff that I have on the video, at least watch up until when you came in. You can catch up on that. Okay. All right, that's it. Let's get going.
You're right. That install